What's going on, everyone? So, according to reports, the Los Angeles Lakers have held a pre-draft workout for Samson Johnson, and he is a guy from Uconn, comes from a pristine organization, right? 22 years old. Lakers love those kind of seasoned, talk about all the time, the kind of more seasoned, more mature style players. Lakers have had a lot of success, particularly with role guys and stuff like that. They can come in, play a role, have had multiple years of growth and development, structure, organizational standpoints, right? Understand and built of their role, be able to come in and immediately play said role. Now, with Samson, he's a guy, 6'10", he's looked at as a hyper athlete, floor runner, do a little bit of everything out there on the basketball court as far as athleticism goes, not really super sound offensively. But as far as the athletic parts of it, moves his feet well. So he's a guy that should, be able to translate in defending in the pick and roll, defend out in space, be able to be a shot blocker. He is looked at as one of the better shot blockers. It's kind of one of his real strong suits, as well as rebounding. He is on paper exactly what this Lakers team needs, right? He is exactly the type of player and mold that the Lakers are looking to add to the roster, Nick Claxton, Daniel Gafford, guys like that. Now, he is 225 pounds, right? Like a little more meat on him, right? Just because, again, I'd like a guy, 240, 250 range, somewhere in that regard. But, he is a guy that at 225 has just, solid enough size, big, strong, physical, and can do multiple things out the basketball court. Be that floor running big that the Lakers desperately need. Be a guy that can be that lob threat, defend in space. But I want to be clear, he is a project. This is a guy that is a absolute project big. This is a guy that's probably not coming in day one and just found our starter. Here we go. You never know, right? I mean, look how good Derek Lively was right out the gate, for Dallas, because he was exactly what made sense alongside Luka. So, bringing a guy like him in that knows his role, that understands hey, this is what I need to do if I want playing time and opportunity and whatnot. He's a guy that I wouldn't be shocked. Here's the thing. I wouldn't be shocked if he came in and was like a 10-8 guy right out the gate, just because of Luka setting him up possession after possession after possession each and every game. He's just got to understand his role and be able to understand that hey, Luka's going to make everything easy and maximize what I need to do and make sure he hits his spots, right? You got the markings on the floor. Make sure you're on your spots, on your targets when you need to be, and you're going to look really good. Right, and that was the thing about Derek Lively. That's what Derek Lively was really good at, is that he was right out the gate that year. He was so good at just getting to his spots and hitting his targets and so on and so forth. So he's the guy that has all the checklists that you want, all the athleticism and stuff that you want. So he just has to come in and play that role. Now, I'm not saying the Lakers are for sure going to draft him or anything like that, but he is a guy that could be on there, on the radar at some point. This is a guy that has again, 6'10" height, a 9'1" standing reach. So 9 feet 1 inch standing reach. So basically just standing straight up. So the guy can nearly dunk, without even jumping. Wingspan of 7'2.5". So he's 7 feet 2 inches, 2.5 inches as far as wingspan goes, and a vertical of 30.5%. So he's got a good vertical, right? He's got the wingspan. He's got the height. He's got everything that you want to be a good shot blocker, a good rim deterrer, period, and then that lob threat for the Lakers. So if he's a guy that can come in, like I mentioned, understands, knows his role, which he should, right, and is willing to kind of play to said role, I think he will be really good for this team, and a guy that can make some sense. But again, according to these reports, Samson Johnson, a 6'10" center from University of Connecticut, had a pre-draft workout with the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are looking at Johnson as a potential second-round draft pick. Johnson, a two-time national champion with Uconn, is known for his athleticism, high motor, and potential as a rim protector. So again, a guy that will fall and is looked at to fall into the second round. Will he fall all the way to 55? Is the question. I don't know. Maybe it's possible. Maybe he's a guy that they like good enough and go, hey, you know what? Let's go buy a second round pick. Maybe you buy, get a pick from the Nets or something like that. I think the Nets have the 34th pick or something. Maybe you're pulling off something like that. But as far as, again, the draft status talks about how Lakers don't have a first. They only have the second round with the pick 55, which, again, I'm not worried about them picking up a draft pick. But his profile, 6'10", who averaged 7.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks per game as a senior at Uconn, which, by the way, every year he did progress. Also, the minutes continue to progress every year, which helps. Even last year, he averaged just hair over 19 minutes per game. And so he was basically, a 7.5, so basically 8.4 rebound a game guy with 1.5 blocks per game at 19 minutes in college. That's really good. And so again, can he come in and be, like I said, get you 8 rebounds, maybe 6 rebounds, call it 6 rebounds. Let's be safe. Let's say he comes in, he averages 15 minutes a night. And if he could give you 10 and 5, there we go. That's a good number. Good round number. 10 points on just lob threats, putbacks, whatnot. If he give you, say, 10 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, steal and a block on average, or let's call it half a steal, half a block on average, right? His rookie season, that would be fantastic. Again, this is something, I want to be clear, this would be a project big. This is a guy that I don't necessarily think is coming in. This is a guy that's hey, we'll have him for the next 10 plus years. We can spend the next year or two kind of getting him right, get him maybe to just the backup role. Can you get him to just be a backup, right? And then from there you go, okay, now he's going to go from being a backup to a starter. But chances are Lakers, if they are to land him, are still going to go. I don't think that this changes their center position by, I don't think he's a guy that would change the center position. There are a couple kind of later round centers that I could see maybe being able to come in and play consistent minutes. I'm not saying he won't get minutes. I'm not saying that he won't play. I'm not saying that he's not going to get some type of an opportunity, but he's not a guy that I look at and go oh, okay, the Lakers, he's going to come in and he's going to be the primary backup, right? So Lakers are just going to go and sign a Clint Capella and then boom, got a big man. He's a guy that I think can just help a ton. And I mean, you could even argue okay, what's the difference between him and a Jackson Hayes or, him and, Christian Koloko and stuff. Koloko is supposed to be our, our development big, or Trey Jamison, 6'10", 275 or 270, right? So again, he's just another guy that you'd add to the well, add to the pool, but you'd have under contract, you'd be cheap, grow, develop. He's also, 2-3 years younger than all those guys, right? So it kind of gives you 2 years to kind of build them under the banner, right? You can have multiple centers on two-way deals, all of that. But then it goes into the Lakers' interest, that Lakers are interested in Johnson's potential and may consider drafting him as a project player. So even the Lakers, even when in the reports where they classify the desire to draft him, that it's under the understanding that hey, they're drafting him as a project player. And that is an already established coming in, here's your guy, right? And look, when you have the 55th pick in the draft, you're probably not getting a guy that is going to come in and just be an absolute world beater, right? He's not a guy that's probably going to come in and be, oh man, this guy is a 15 and 10 with 2 blocks and 2 steals and defends in space and defends pick and roll, does all these things that you wanted. He's more likely than not going to be a guy that is going to take some time. But I do think, one, he's a guy that I do think as just that floor, dude, just be in your spot, right? Be in that dunker spot And Luke, like, I could see him getting at least the point total just because of Luka. Just because Luka's there to set him up, and Luka's going to make him look good. Right? Like, if he was, like, on an island by himself without, like, without, like, a Luka, I think he'd probably look pretty pedestrian. I think people would probably be like, like, why the Lakers draft this guy? But I think Luka will make him good. Kind of like the Derek Lively thing. Like, and look, don't get me wrong, Derek Lively's a good basketball player. I don't want to, like, he definitely, I think, would be good regardless. But he came onto the scene so, like, in Fuego because Luka made things so easy for him. So it's just, like, again, just kind of be in your spots and you're good. That's something that I could see potentially being for Samson, right? But and then lastly, other potential draft destinations. Johnson also had pre-draft workouts with the Utah Jazz, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Washington Wizards. So there are several teams that have already worked him out as well. So he's definitely at least getting the attention, which is a good sign that, hey, usually if there's enough interest, it means that he's at least good enough to garner said interest. So I think that's something to keep in mind. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Phil, what are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of bringing in Samson Johnson? Do you think, like, no, stay away from him, he's not the guy? Do you have somebody else in particular in mind? Obviously, I have several centers and whatnot and big men and stuff that I want to continue to go over. I'm sure the Lakers are going to work out several more. We haven't really even gotten into the workout stage that you're usually seeing. We're probably still a couple weeks away from that, where you're going to start getting the reports where it's like Lakers worked out these 7 guys and have these 7 guys slated for next week, like that kind of thing. But anyway, again, let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So I enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.